man, does it feel good to finally be in a brand new chapter. Hello and welcome to Marble Race Series Chapter 4. We have officially made it into the 4th chapter of the Marble Race series, and this is obviously the Chapter 4 premiere, or in this case actually the Chapter 4 Season 1 premiere, whatever you want to call it as. But yeah, after so many months, we have finally made it to a brand new chapter, and as well as a new era, because a new era was especially commenced when Blood Red over here defeated Murky Blue in the C3 Marble Race 100 Grand Finale, which oddly enough was an Elimination Tournament 6 rematch, by the way. But yeah, he did defeat Murky Blue in the C3 Marble Race 100 Grand Finale. And speaking of which, if you haven't checked that out yet, make sure you go do so, because it was a very, very big one. In fact, it along with the rest of the C3 Marble Race 100 saga is definitely now one of my favorite races I have ever made, especially because of the success the whole entire saga has had. And speaking of which, I do want to say thank you to everyone so much for supporting the C3 Marble Race 100 saga and made it a big success, and it was definitely an epic conclusion to Chapter 3 for sure. But now, since we have, recapped all the highlights of Chapter 3, we are now officially ready to begin the 4th chapter of the Marble Race series. So yeah, we have now entered a brand new era entirely, especially with, like I said, Blood Red defeating Murky Blue to be world champion for a second time. And yeah, and it's kind of obvious because, well, because Blood Red has had a fantastic year so far, and he has literally the highest leaderboard score out of anyone so far, a record-breaking score right now, and which you probably saw in the leaderboard in some of the pinned comments. But yeah, but anyways, yeah, since we have now made it into a brand new era, we have 24 marbles right here to celebrate the start of this brand new chapter. And of course, we cannot go over a season premiere or as well as a chapter premiere in this case without showing off the track. Alright, so here is what the first track of Chapter 4 is like. And as you can see here, it is a very, very tall track, and possibly one of the tallest ones I have ever made. And because of that, it could be considered as my new favorite track of 2025 so far. Especially because we obviously have the dual funnel setup right here. And of course, the dual funnels is probably my favorite part of a track right here. And also, we do have the entry of this red flat funnel floating over this orange flat funnel, because, well, for number one, I don't really have enough tubes to fully support this, and two, this clear blue horizontal wheel is blocking the way for this orange flat funnel. So because of that, I will not be able to put a funnel holder on top of this funnel and fully support and make a support beam that's supposed to hold this. So because of that, I'm just gonna have to let it float. But it does give the track a much more cooler look. So yeah, very, very happy with this track right here. And also, because of how tall this track is, I'm gonna have to use a step stool, which is right behind me, by the way, by my door, just so I can, reach the top of that track up there. Well, yeah, that's starter gate specifically, but yeah. But other than that, that's gonna be about it for the first ever track of Chapter 4. And if you do want to use this one in your videos, then make sure to credit me, so go ahead. Anyways, that's going to be about it for the first track of Chapter 4. And of course, since this is a new chapter / new era, a bunch of new marbles are joining the roster, and a couple marbles are returning, whilst others got body updates. So first, let me go over the body updates. So as you can see here, Blood Red himself did receive a body update. So as you see here, he is a much more normal sized marble, in which he is much more balanced because his previous body was starting to become a little bit too dominant. So because of that, Blood Red was pretty much due for a body update for quite a while now. But happy to say that I finally managed to find him a much more balanced body right here. So hopefully this one will be, this one will work so much better than, his previous body. And speaking of which, yes, his previous body is stored in here, if you're wondering, just in case if I ever need it, but yeah. And as you may notice, Sunny Yellow also did receive a body update. So now he is a bright, solid yellow marble. Well, he was always solid, but now he is a much more balanced, solid yellow marble right here. And a brighter one in this case, because his previous body was also a little bit gold. But now, with his new body, he is a much more brighter yellow marble. So there's Sunny Yellow right there. And as for the returning marbles, Sky Blue is now officially back in the roster. And of course, he is still a plastic marble right here. Well, kind of solid, but mostly a plastic marble after several testing, but yeah. And of course, Wilderness has also made his return. As you can see right here. Same case for, Sky Blue, but yeah. And as for the 3 newcomers joining the roster, let's go over them right now. So this one is Seafoam Green. So as you can see here, he is a bright green marble, but nearly cyan, but mostly a green marble, if you can probably see. So like I said, same case for the other 2 marbles that I just went over, except this one is much more brighter. So welcome Seafoam Green to the roster. Okay, sorry for that line flip right there, but whatever. And this one is Cotton Candy. So we finally have a second pink marble on the roster. And she is different compared to Opal Pink, as she is definitely much more brighter. But yeah, that's Cotton Candy. And finally, our final newcomer is Great Purple. Yes, we have our first ever purple marble in the roster. In which of course it's Great Purple right here. So there you go. So that's about it for all the new marbles and returning marbles and updated marbles that are going to be in the roster. But before we do get started to racing, I have one marble to take note of. So Strong Metal is in this episode since he actually DNF/cheated in C3 Marble Race 100, specifically Group B. And what happened is that he basically tried to jump his way through the track and into the finish line. And unfortunately for him, like I said, that is not allowed in the Marble Race series. So because of that, he will have to be in this episode in order to make that up. And if he cheats again, then I'm going to have to give him a suspension because, like I said, that's never allowed in the Marble Race series. But anyways, enough of me yapping. Let's get this started. So choose any one of these 24 marbles do you think will be winning the first ever race in Chapter 4. And you only have 5 seconds to guess. Go. And now, without further ado, let the first race of Chapter 4 begin. Wow, this was an absolutely amazing way to start off a completely brand new chapter and a completely brand new era. And yeah, this was definitely a banger race for sure. And so yeah. Anyways, congratulations to Cotton Candy on scoring first place, and which oddly enough, this is actually her first race and she already scored first place, so big congrats to her on that one. While of course sadly placing last is Jungle. And of course kudos to Blood Red on having a decent start as world champion, even though he didn't score in the top 3, but it's still a pretty nice start to his second world title reign. And of course kudos to all of our 5 newcomers on having a good start to their career. And so yeah, I guess we'll just head over to the final results. And that's going to be about it for the first ever race of Chapter 3. Like I said, congratulations to Cotton Candy on scoring first place, while sadly placing last is Jungle. And of course, kudos to our 3 newcomers, actually, not while the 2 are actually returning marbles, but yeah, congratulations to our 3 newcomers as well as our 2 returning marbles. Okay, yeah, sorry for messing up my speech, but whatever. But yeah, congratulations to our 3 newcomers and our 2 returning marbles on having a strong start to their careers, especially Cotton Candy, as this is her first ever race and she already won. So yeah, big congrats to her on that one. So yeah. Anyways, like I said, that's gonna be about it for the first ever race of Chapter 3, and I cannot wait to see what this whole chapter has to offer. But for now, I guess we're going to leave it here, so hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up to share your support. Feel free to leave a comment down below, subscribe with that notification bell enabled, and feel free to follow all my socials down below. And yes, I do apologize for a couple line flips here and there, but whatever. But anyways, that's about it for this. Bye bye for now, and have a good day.